18-year-old Ms. Currington claims that she had a love affair with Mr. Kim Larson, a man 20 years older than her, and that relationship resulted in 5-month-old Kawira. Mr. Kim Larson, on the hand, insists that Ms. Currington's child isn't his, and she only says the child is his for financial gain. Who is the father of Kaoria? Let's find out.
How upset does it make you feel that Mr. Kim Larson denies your daughter?
It makes me feel pissed off, because we planned this baby.
What was said?
He wanted to have a baby by me, and that was that.
And now that the baby's here...
Now that is an accusation. Ms. Currington says the entire pregnancy was planned, and the reason Mr. Kim Larson says he isn't the father is because she is no longer sleeping with him. What is 42-year-old Kim Larson even doing with an 18-year-old in the first place? She's old enough to be his daughter. According to Mr. Kim Larson, that means she's also old enough to be other things as well.
She's unpredictable. She played a game with my emotion. She plotted.
Oh, you say she plotted?
Yes.
So you think she did all of this on purpose?
Yes.
Did you plan to have a baby together? Were you trying to have a baby?
No, Honor.
What does that even mean? Condoms aren't supernatural beings. You don't need faith to make a condom do what it's supposed to do. You just need to wear it. And Judge Lake is correct. You might say you are not planning to have a baby, but without condoms, that is exactly what you will get. But hold on, it gets crazier.
Oh.
Yes. So.
And so you had your hand up, Miss Larson.
Yes.
You are his daughter.
Yes, ma'am.
And so what is your understanding of this?
I know these types of women. They prey on men like this, like kind-hearted.
Oh, come on, won't someone think of the 42-year-old who was taken advantage of by the 18-year-old? That is so sad and unfortunate. Innocent Mr. Kim Larson just wanted to sleep with someone younger than his daughter without condoms, and now he has to deal with being a father. He is clearly the victim here. How did this relationship even begin?
He came in, he approached me and asked me if I seen his girlfriend at that time. And I said no, but I would help you look for her. So we walked in the hallways and knocked on every door.
Wait, she already had a son? And she says that Mr. Kim Larson, our dear victim, was just reeling out the benefits of sleeping with him to her while she was helping him search for his other girlfriend. That is nasty, Mr. Kim Larson. But it gets worse, if you can believe it.
Oh, you're saying you actually started to really fall in love, like thought you were having a real relationship.
Yeah, we got connected. I met her at the hotel. She approached me, and we just clicked. We developed a relationship, and
You approached me about your girlfriend at that time.
Wow. I am sure that girlfriend is so thankful right now that she wasn't found by this clown duo. But let's get to the issue at hand here. Does Mr. Kim Larson have any real reason to doubt that this 5-month-old is his baby?
She moved at my place.
Within 2 weeks?
Yeah, 2 weeks, because we
I moved
bonded.
at his place 2 days later and drove his car after I met him at the hotel. He had me drive his car to his house.
Oh, so the cute car you saw him pull up in, he was letting you drive it?
Yes.
So the men that were in his house were just her cousins? Maybe this is all a huge mix-up and all the accusations of cheating are just because of Ms. Currington's large family. Anyway, why did they even break up?
Because she had multiple guys. I don't trust her. She's naive, and
he
I
got
can't
his
trust
self-
her. Excuse me, girl. Okay. She's naive. I don't trust her.
But did she just leave Mr. Kim Larson, or did you just kick her out because she had more?
Wait, maybe Mr. Kim Larson is really the victim here because there is no way this 18-year-old with 2 kids is now with another much older man. Does she have a type or what? Anyway, let's talk about this one night stand.
With one other man.
With one other man. And this man happened right after you moved out of the house?
And went
after you
to
got
Indiana.
evicted?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what?
When I went to Indiana.
When you went to Indiana?
Yes.
How soon after that did you find out you were pregnant?
I found out I was pregnant when I moved.
So he knew about the one night stand and still wanted her to come back and start a family with him? This is crazy. At this point, you kind of feel that Mr. Kim Larson just wanted to see Ms. Currington in court and doesn't doubt the paternity of her kid. The only way we can know for sure is through the test result. And here is what it says.
When it comes to 5-month-old Kaora Currington, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Kim Larson, you are the father.
Lindsay Whitaker got pregnant when she was 17, and now her baby is 2 years old. But there is one problem. The baby's supposed father, 20-year-old Mr. Schruel, has claimed that he isn't the father. She says that is a complete lie. Here is how she puts it.
Why do you blame Mr. Schroll's mother for his denial?
Because he's a mama's boy. She has never done anything but come in between our relationship. Even when we were having fights in our relationship, she was always in the middle of it. It was never just me and him, it was me, him, and his.
Are you a mama's boy, Mr. Schroll?
Yes, Your Honor, I am.
I know that's right.
Wait, what? Their parents let two young kids, probably driven mad by hormones, spend the night together at their homes? You'd think that is as crazy as it would get, but Ms. Whitaker has one more bombshell to drop.
Him and his mother moved into my house with me and my mother. And
What? They moved into the house with you and your mother?
Yes, ma'am.
And you all were having sex and both mothers knew it?
Yes.
I've never heard of such.
Several times a day.
What in the world? This is horrible.
Yeah, I wonder why. Why would two teenagers who have such crazy freedoms with clearly insane parents end up dropping out? In fact, it's a miracle they got into high school at all. But hold on, it gets worse.
Mr. Schroll's mother was getting in the way of your relationship. Well, sounded like she was putting it together.
She was always in the middle of our relationship. She even made the comment one time that I can't wait till you're 18 because I'm gonna beat your ass. And then when she found out I was pregnant, she said, I guess I can't do it anymore now.
You have to remember that right now, both Mr. Schrull and Ms. Whitaker are 20 years old. They cannot drink alcohol, but somehow she's been in a committed relationship with someone since she was 15 and already has a child with a man who hasn't claimed her baby? Let's see if this case can get any worse.
What had happened?
We,
her mom had passed away.
Okay.
And she got put in a foster home, and once she turned
Okay.
18, she went with family.
I'm sorry to hear that, Ms. Whitaker.
Thank
Very
you.
sorry.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And so at that time, you all were separated. You were no longer living together.
If you've cheated on your partner, you cannot blame them if they have paternity doubts. It literally comes with the accusations. However, Ms. Whitaker insists that this cheating scandal isn't as straightforward as we are led to believe.
I got taken into DHR custody. I was only 17. I was 8 months from being 18. Anyway, they put me with my aunt, and me and Christian were fighting all the time. I was hormonal, I was pregnant. His mother refused to let him come to my doctor's appointments.
Okay, hold that story right there. I want to get to it.
It sounds like Mr. Schrull took the pregnancy very well at first. So what happened? Why did someone like Mr. Schrull, who apparently wanted to marry his girlfriend who was carrying his child, turn around to deny that pregnancy? Well, here is where this story totally goes off the rails.
I told his mother, I could hear her screaming in the background, oh God, no, why? Kill me now, why?
Really?
No.
She was screaming to the top of her lungs, and she took that moment from me.
Staying together and sleeping together was never okay with me. This started at her house.
Mrs. Schrull clearly doesn't like Ms. Whitaker at all, and you can almost start to understand the genesis of this paternity doubt. Mr. Schrull has obviously been fed crazy stories by his mother, and that is why he denies his child. But hold on, it gets better.
Pregnant, did you think the baby was your grandchild?
I did because my son believed at
No, you
time
didn't. You told
he
me from the
was.
beginning that's not his child.
Not until she admitted to me, yes. She told me there were 7 possibilities.
7 guys? This lady is just 20 years old and her child might have 7 other potential fathers? Well, Ms. Whitaker completely denies that. She admits that she cheated on her husband, but says the timing is wrong, so Mr. Schrull has to be the father.
I conceived at the beginning
Thank
of
you.
August. I did not sleep with him until the end of August. I slept with Christian every single night.
I don't remember all that.
Days are outlined completely every day.
Every day.
From the second.
That is a lot of sleeping together. The crazy thing is the only evidence that Mr. Schrull seems to offer is that Ms. Whitaker admitted to cheating on him around the conception date. But is that evidence a strong indicator of the truth? Only the DNA test result can tell us that. And here is what they say.
It has been determined by this. You are her father.
I am.
Ms. Hicks says that she is being punished for the sins of her past, and now she wants to save her relationship. She wants to prove that her 3-month-old's father is Mr. Smith. However, Mr. Smith insists that Ms. Hicks is an unrepentant cheat, and he isn't the father of her child. He also says that Ms. Hicks' sister agrees with him, and he has medical evidence to prove his case.
Ms. Hicks, how does it make you feel hearing Mr. Smith deny paternity?
I know I've only slept with him, and I know who my children belong to. Like, hearing this from him and him getting it from my own full-blooded sister, it just bores me.
Tell the truth.
It bores me.
For your own sister to say this in open court, Ms. Hicks must have been doing a lot of things to warrant suspicion. Ms. Hicks obviously disagrees, but we all know that lies are commonplace in paternity court, right? Here is what Mr. Smith thinks of all this.
I used to work out a lot, and one time I strained myself too hard, and I had to go to the hospital, and the doctor told me that I couldn't have kids, that my testicles had dropped by that time.
You submitted some evidence to the court concerning that. I'd like to look at that.
Okay, now things are getting even more complicated. If Mr. Smith is medically incapable of having kids, and had this confirmed to him by his own doctor, he has an extremely valid reason to doubt the paternity of this child. child. The fact that Ms. Hicks' own sister says she is a habitual cheat just makes things worse for her. But here is what she thinks.
When you all were in a sexual relationship?
No, Your Honor. He never informed me about any of this. When he did tell me, this came up like, she's living proof that you can have kids. I didn't make this baby myself.
This has to be a nightmare for Ms. Hicks. Imagine your husband and your aunt accusing you of being a dirty cheat. You need to have a lot of conviction in your beliefs to continue to oppose them regardless. Here is why Mr. Smith thinks Ms. Hicks is lying.
She was cheating a lot of time with multiple men.
You know that for certain?
Yes, Your Honor.
How do you know that? Explain.
Her sister used to tell me that she used to sleep with this guy and that guy, and I didn't believe her at first, but until it started coming to me about the dude she talked to all the time, friendly with.
Do you know how horrible you have to be for even your sister to say, you know what? That's enough. I am snitching on you. The funny thing is that Ms. Hicks makes it sound like it's not a big deal, but it has to be troubling her on some level, right?
Technically still are, but these lies that she's pushing in his ears and everybody else is pushing in his ears.
I don't push no lies in his ears.
It's causing problems, Your Honor. It really is.
She believes her own lies, okay? They come true in her head. I don't know.
Wait, what does that mean? They are technically still in a relationship? So after all of this, they are going to go back to the same house and lay up together? Okay, this is one dysfunctional case, but we are going to get to the bottom of it one way or another.
I went through her phone and found text messages, and it said when I can get that kitty cat.
Oh, you saw a text message?
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor.
And you submitted your recollection of that exchange to the court.
His bed? That is foul. She had another man over in his bed for 2 days? If this is true, there is absolutely no way that Mr. Smith was ever going to believe her DNA test results. But hold on, folks. We ain't seen nothing yet.
I'm not finna sit up there and give my kitty to this man and that man and that man. And I mess with one man for 2 reasons. So I know who my child belongs to if I end up pregnant.
Well, I came out the car. I seen somebody jump out the window, and I'm knocking on the door for like...
Okay, this is no laughing matter. Mr. Smith has the best witness in the world. The defendant's sister. They literally saw a man jump out the window, and even after that, Ms. Hicks didn't open up immediately. What is happening here? Can we get an explanation?
Apartment building.
He jumped out
and we
the window.
stay on the 2nd floor. So
he jumped out the window.
like himself, when he jumped out the window, like I expected that guy that he's suddenly seen jump out the window to be hurt just...
It looks like Ms. Hicks here is admitting to nothing. As long as it wasn't caught on camera, it literally never happened. If she's lying, she is an extremely good liar. But hold on, folks, because this case is about to get even worse.
Yes.
Were you happy about it?
Faking it to her, but I know in my mind that
faking it.
I can't have...
Oh, you were faking it to her?
Yes, Your Honor.
There is no way anybody can fake anything. I mean, at the hospital, you're there. He was like...
Because I felt sorry for her, because she could have lost her life.
Ms. Hicks is not allowing anyone to get anything in. She is countering every accusation with 10 of her own, but one thing she cannot counter is the DNA test result. And what does that result say? Let's see.
When it comes to 3-month-old Honesty Smith, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Smith, you are the father.
Mr. Joyner says he is a responsible veteran who would never be a deadbeat dad. That is why he says that Ms. Jones's 8-month-old baby isn't his. In fact, he's claiming that he didn't even know her name until recently. If that sounds incredible, wait till you hear what Ms. Jones has to say.
I don't feel like it's my baby.
You don't feel? Or what are your doubts?
It's not my baby. It's a veteran. I'm a military veteran, and I do take care of my responsibilities.
Do you have other children?
No, Your Honor, I do not.
So you just from the start didn't believe it?
What are you going to do? The guy just doesn't believe that he is the father of this kid. This is not a matter of biology. It's a matter of faith. And if you don't have faith, what are you going to do? Nothing. How did this two even meet?
Your Honor, I would not say we was dating in any kind of serious relationship. I met her at our place where we worked at. It was a restaurant, and I mean, just to be honest.
You say you're in a relationship, Ms. Jones. Yes. He says it wasn't a relationship at all. He didn't even know your name.
On one side, we have Ms. Jones, who insists that Mr. Joyner knew her name before he slept with her. And on the other side, we have Mr. Joyner, who says that is a lie from the pit of hell. But hold on, guys, because it gets even worse. Come on, Mr. Joyner. You say you're a veteran and a man of honor? Are you actually going to deny being in a relationship with a woman who came over to your house with her mother? Really? What does he have to say about this?
So, Mom, Miss Jones, did your daughter ever introduce you to Miss Joyner? Mr. Joyner, did you know anything about him?
And go over there and visit him and stay sometimes this night and everything with him. I even went over there to his residence, spent the weekend and everything with them, with my other grandson.
Well, Mr. Joyner clearly thought that those were the perks of some sort of situationship. At least that is what he wants us to think. Anyway, his argument is that Ms. Jones was sleeping with other men. But was she? Let's find out.
Why he was talking about him and her moving in together. He and her moving into the place.
Yes. When did that happen?
When they was with each other.
Your Honor, when I met her, she was supposed to be moving to Texas in 1 week. She said, I'm moving to Texas with my boyfriend or baby daddy, whatever it was, in 1 week.
Mr. Joyner is starting to sound like a real shifty character. First, he claims he didn't even know her name, and now he is claiming he didn't know they were in a committed relationship. It just sounds like this dude is lying. What happened when he learned that she was pregnant?
I'm at the hospital. He was like, don't tell me you're pregnant. I said, well, I'm pregnant. And like, he just sat on the phone silent, and then he said, I'm gonna call you back, and he never called me back. And I'm just waiting for the phone to ring and no call back from Mr. Joyner.
You never called back?
Ah, that settles it, guys. She just said 2. That obviously means that she was sleeping with other guys, right? Right? Of course not. But we do need to know if there are other potential fathers in the mix. What does Ms. Jones think?
I mean, you're the father then, if say there was this other person and everybody knew it.
You know, I had my own place, you know, what I had, and the other guy, she was, you know, guy or two that she was sleeping with at the time, and she thought that.
Did Mr. Joyner just say what I think he said? Anyway, this case is getting clearer. Mr. Joyner thinks that Ms. Jones wants him to be in her life because he is just a better specimen. But there is another stranger reason why Mr. Joyner thinks he can't be the father.
A month after when she said she had gotten pregnant, Your Honor, I had just moved, 25 years old I am, and I've been having sex roughly 10, 11, 12 years. I've never gotten any female pregnant.
Well,
and then I moved down there the first week I meet her.
It only happens one time.
The first week I meet her.
Who is to say you are irresponsible? The fact that you've been lucky while being irresponsible doesn't mean you have any great skill at dodging pregnancies. Anyway, this case has gone on for too long. It's time to get the result.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Joyner, you are father.
Yes.
Ms. Cousins says she doesn't want to be here today, but Mr. Bell has given her no choice. She says that he is denying the paternity of her 7-month-old baby, and she wants him to step up. Mr. Bell and his girlfriend are in court, and they deny all claims. Here is how it all began.
He told my daughter that he was single, that he was not in a relationship. I know he was in a relationship with her because I seen his picture on her phone. When she started being with him, I seen how her attitude changed. I knew then that.
So not only is he denying paternity, he was actually seeing at least 2 people at the same time. That's horrible, but as they say, this is paternity court, not couples court. What does Mr. Bell have to say? What is his doubt exactly?
A whole weekend? No. I had to get back to her.
You went out once, a whole weekend, yeah. And then not only that, y'all had lunch together.
Can she let her daughter talk?
She wasn't there. Room. I go in her room, I found receipts with 2 combos on it. I asked her what the combos for. For him and her.
Okay, Mr. Bell does not seem to be a big fan of the idea of shame. He took her away for the weekend and she paid for his food? That's crazy. But it gets worse as Ms. Cousin herself will finally say her piece.
Job that we was working at, when I first met him, he told me he wasn't with no one. I never slept with no one else at work. Every time I go out to get lunch, he right behind me. What you eating for lunch? Can you buy me something? Tell me I cannot pay his phone bill every time I get paid.
That's crazy, Mr. Bell. You were really mooching off on a girl you were sleeping with? He must have felt like the luckiest man in the world to actually have a girl who paid his bills. Well, it looks like it's his turn to pay some bills.
I only seen her outside of work maybe twice. We was never together because I had to go home to her. I was staying with her and my kid.
Were you flirting with her at work? Were you asking her what she's eating for lunch and buy you some too?
No.
Well, you said you already ate the food because she was buying it.
Yeah, she offered.
Somehow, I don't believe him. There is just too much evidence here. Mr. Bell claims he used protection and slept with Ms. Cousins only once. She says that is a huge lie, and his lies torture her so much that she starts crying.
Because he felt your weakness. That's what he felt. He felt that he could take control of you, but as of today, God is...
You denying the baby is yours.
Yes.
Because you have the girlfriend of 6 years or because you truly believe this isn't your
I believe
biological
it's not
child.
mine.
He's had a girlfriend for 6 years and he cheated on her with a coworker? The fact that the girlfriend in question still stuck by him through all that is just crazy. Anyway, here is Ms. Cousin's version of events.
Came home, I called him. I said, I'm pregnant. He said, oh, well, call me back. Let me know what you gonna do. And that was it, and he hung up the phone.
Did you tell your manager at work?
I told my manager, because that's the day that my back was hurting. She said,
And she
you could
told me
go.
the baby wasn't mine. I don't want
Why
the
is
baby by
you-
you anyway.
Wait,
She
he
told
just
me-
said that you told him the baby wasn't his.
She said both? That is clearly a lie. At this point, we are kind of hoping that he isn't really the father of Ms. Cousin's kid because this dude sounds like huge red flag. But let's hear more.
Well, we just want
ain't
to be
me.
over with, Your Honor, because we really want him to help take care of this baby. You know, Destiny just got a new job now, and I want her to stay positive. I want her to go to college. That's one thing that I want her to do.
hoeing around.
In the process of the not at all.
She with a whole nother dude doing her pregnant.
No, I was
What
not.
dude under 25 gonna be with somebody else?
Wait, he had his baby mama, that is his girlfriend of 6 years, spying on Ms. Cousins? You know what? It's about time we heard from this baby mama. What does she have to say?
Find out, Miss King, your boyfriend had in fact slept cousin.
She messaged me on Facebook and she was like, do you have Cortez's mom number? Because I have his baby over here. At that point, I showed his mom. His mom was like, well, who is that? I found out she was pregnant through the same person.
This is all so messy. She says they slept together thrice without protection, and at least one of those times was in a car. Mr. Bell disagrees, but the DNA test result might paint us a totally different picture. Here is what the test says.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Bell, you are the father.
Thank you, Lord Jesus. Yes. Oh, yeah.
Ms. Eubanks says once the DNA test results prove that Mr. Wilkes is the father of her daughter, she wants to get married to him. You might wonder why she would want to get into a marriage with a man who thinks he isn't the father of her child. But Ms. Eubanks has a pretty interesting reason. Let's begin.
Relationship because we've been together too long. I'm 1,002% sure that I just want these results for him so we can move forward and get married like we planned.
And how has this doubt affected you?
It affected me tremendously, like emotionally.
I heard you well up with.
Maybe that's why she still wants to save this marriage. The fact that he's continued his responsibilities despite not being totally sure the baby is for him is admirable. Very few fathers on paternity court do that. Here is what Mr. Wilkes thinks.
I'm tired of guessing, wondering, and things of that sort. And like she said, it's just the connection. It wasn't there when he first came. You know what I mean? I just didn't feel any type of connection. Like even growing gray hairs. I'm only 30 years old.
You stay up late staring at the baby, stressing?
Yeah.
Okay, this is a strange case. Mr. Wilkes says he has no evidence of his wife cheating on him. He believes she loves him, but somehow he cannot believe that this child belongs to him. He thinks the child doesn't have the right vibe. And you know what? That happens sometimes. Sometimes some kids just have a bad vibe. What are you gonna do? Let's go back to Ms. Eubanks.
At the strip club, we was there for a family member's birthday party.
Oh, okay.
It was just love at first sight. Like we was together.
In the strip club? You know what they say. What happens in the strip club stays in the strip club, except when what happens leads to a baby, and now you're in paternity court wondering where your life went wrong. Anyway, where did it all go wrong for this beautiful couple?
Our first child was born. We had took a little, I guess what he calls it, a so-called breakup.
Mr. Wilkes, do you believe during that time dating other people?
She was definitely talking to other people at the time. Or he turns around and walks the other way. So when I goes in the house.
Let's get this straight. This two break up and go their own way. Mr. Wilkes sees her ex at her relative's house and decided to follow him? Why would he even do that if they were broken up? Exactly. It is difficult for a relationship to come back from a paternity doubt. Even if the DNA result is positive, the woman will always feel some sort of anger or sadness at the distrust. Anyway, Mr. Wilkes has another evidence to show the court.
I am innocent.
Your Honor, it doesn't matter what she's portraying or what she's trying to say.
It's not portraying, it's the truth. I only deal with you.
I'm here for
I
the
only
results.
had eyes for you.
I want results. You know, that's it. She said
And this really bothers you, Miss Eubanks. I see you're about to cry.
You know what? He's correct. This isn't couples court. We are here for a paternity test, and that's all we need to be about. And if we are being about that, dancing with another man while broken up shouldn't be enough reason for Mr. Wilkes to doubt paternity.
And I also see the hand of another guy coming over to slap.
That was the girl in front of me.
Somebody behind.
They had like a little four-way thing. She had a girl dancing on her.
Gillahan, you were there that night at this club?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you remember seeing?
I remember seeing her, the guy, another girl and another fella.
This is getting so chaotic. Ms. Eubanks thinks everyone is lying, and Mr. Wilkes thinks his goofy friend here is saying nothing but the gospel truth. Judge Lake probably can't wait to get to the results now, but before that, there is something someone needs to confess to.
I see Jemiah, I know y'all separated, whatever y'all got going on. He was like, somebody else had sent him the video.
Oh, you had an informant. Point, Miss Eubanks, you find out you're pregnant.
And that was way after this.
So the video doesn't have any bearing on the paternity question whatsoever? Why did Mr. Wilkes bring it up then? Anyway, it's time to reveal the truth. Does this baby belong to Mr. Wilkes, or is his vibes-based DNA test accurate? Let's see.
You are the father.